Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Amartya Suci, and today I would like to present my research entitled The Differences of Language Between Ali and Nino in Ali and Nino 2016 movie. Here's the table of contents. First is background of study, research questions, objective of study, scope of study, significance of study, literature review, theoretical approach, method of study, and then the last is paper organization. Firstly, I would like to explain about my background of study. First, why the researcher chooses Ali and Nino 2016 movie. The first and the main reason is because this movie shows the violations of language used by both of the main characters named Ali and Nino. So Ali and Nino is the main characters of this movie. Ali is an Azerbaijani soldier and Nino is a Georgian princess. In this movie, I found some violations of language that used by both of them. As I stated before, Nino is a princess, but in this movie, she didn't show a behavior as what a princess should behave. Holmes claims that women are more linguistically polite than men, but there are some deviations or violations made by Nino as a woman and especially as a princess. For example, sometimes she argues with her parents, yells out to some people, even to her own husband named Ali. In this movie, Nino didn't show the behavior as a princess should behave. Meanwhile, Ali is an Azerbaijani Shia Muslim man who lives in the old part of Baku, or we can also say it as the capital city of Azerbaijan, and he plays role as a soldier who fights against Russia during the war. In this movie, Ali several times also shows the violations of language like Nino did before. So the violations of language that are used by both of Ali and Nino becomes the main reason why I choose this movie as my object of research, and also it becomes the focus of my analysis. The second reason is because this movie serves a unique theme through World War I as the setting of place. This movie tells about an interfaith and cross-ethnicity marriage of Ali and Nino. As what I stated in the previous, Ali is an Azerbaijani man and he is a Muslim, especially Shia Muslim man. Meanwhile, Nino is a Christian Orthodox princess from Georgia. The journey of their love is tested through the World War I and also from their interfaith and cross-ethnicity marriage. Second is what the researcher wants to do. So I, as the researcher, want to find and analyze the reasons behind the violations of language damage. And then how to do that? I investigated by finding the differences of language between Ali and Nino through the differences theory that proposed by Deborah Tannen. Next is research questions. This research was conducted to answer the question on how are the differences of language between Ali and Nino in Ali and Nino 2016 movie. And then the objective of study. This research is conducted to find out and explain the differences of language between Ali and Nino in Ali and Nino 2016 movie. Next is scope of study. The scope of this research focuses on sociolinguistic study and it more specifically towards women's language studies. I limit the focus of this research on the language between Ali and Nino only. And for the significance of study, I hope that this research can give a deeper understanding for the readers in the study of sociolinguistics, especially in terms of women's language studies. I also hope that this research can be a reference for the next researcher who has an interest in the same topic as mine. And then the last but not least, I also hope that this research can be beneficial for enriching knowledge related to women's language or language and gender studies, and also for linguistic development. Next, we move to the literature review. So I found some journals that help and relate with my research. However, I found a difficulty when looking for previous research, which applies the same theory and then proposed by the same scientist as my research. So the differences theory by Deborah Tannen used in this paper has not been widely used. So I, as the researcher, only found two researchers that also apply the same theory. So the first journal is the features of men's and women's language in the movie Camp Rock 2, Final Jam, that written by Niputu Erna Merianti Saridewi from Udayana University in 2017. The second journal is entitled Language Style of Women in the Movie Speech Perfect, that written by Putu Upik Mahardiani from English Department, Udayana University in 2018. And then the rest journal that I found applies different theory. These two journals uses Lakoff theory. Then the next journal is entitled An Analysis of Women's Linguistic Features and Linguistic Behaviors produced by female hosts in talent show in the same gender and cross-gender conversations. This journal written by Yulis Suwaibah and Dr. Masduki from English Study Program, University of Trunojoyo, Madura. And then the last journal is entitled Women's Language Features found in female characters' utterances in the Devil Wears Prada movie. This journal was written by Tika Oktaviani, M. Natsir, and Ririn Setiawati from English Department, Mula Warman University in 2017. Next, we move to the theoretical approach. His research applies the differences theory that proposed by Deborah Tannen in 1990. This theory explains the different ways between women and men when they use a language. According to Tannen, in You Just Don't Understand 1990, there are 6 main differences between the ways males and females use language. First is status versus support. In this part, men consider language as an affirmation of dominance, while women consider language as a means to support ideas. The second is independence versus intimacy. In this part, men prefer to do by himself or independent, while women ask for support when they do something. Next is advice versus understanding. In this part, men consider language as a way to solve a problem, meanwhile women are more related to give an understanding. Next is information versus feelings. Men focus with fact, logic, or valid information, meanwhile women are more into their emotions or feelings. Next is order versus proposals. In this part, men are more likely into imperative, while women are into hidden directive. And then the last is conflict versus compromise. In this part, when men argue, women choose to seek the middle ground. Next, we move to the method of study. So in method of study, there will be 4 parts. First part is type of research. Since the focus of this research relates in analyzing and interpreting types of differences between the ways men and women use language, therefore the type of this research is qualitative research. And next part is data sources. In data sources, there will be 2 kinds of datum. The first is the primary datum. The primary datum of this research is Ali Enino 2016 movie. And for the secondary datum of this research is the movie script. Next part is data collection technique. In this research, the data collection technique used is note-taking technique. According to Best and Han, note-taking technique is putting materials in a form that can be recalled and used in the future. There are several steps in collecting the data. Those steps are first, downloading the movie and its subtitle. Second is checking the compatibility between the movie and its subtitles. And then the last is identifying, categorizing, and note-taking the transcription dialogues, which contain 6 types of differences between the ways men and women use language. And here's the last part of method of study. It is data analysis technique. This research applies equivalent methods for analyzing the data. As stated by Sudaryanto, equivalent methods is a data analysis method using any determining tools that do not belong to the part of the language. Through this method of data analysis, the technique of analyzing data in this research was done in several steps, such as first, collecting the data which are related to 6 types of differences between the ways men and women use language. The second is categorizing the data in accordance with the type. The third is analyzing, explaining, and interpreting the data. And then the last is concluding the results of the research as the final steps. And the next is paper organization. So this research consists of 4 chapters such as introduction, theoretical framework, finding and discussion, and then the last is conclusion. The first chapter is introduction. It introduces the background information that relates to the topic and discusses the reason why the researcher conducts this research. This chapter consists of background of study, research question, objective of study, scope of study, significance of study, literature review, theoretical approach, method of study, and then the last is paper organization. The second chapter is theoretical framework. The relevant theories to the topic of this research are shown in this chapter. Next is finding and discussion chapter. This chapter explains the differences of language between Ali and Nino, found in Ali and Nino movie. And then the last chapter is conclusion. All findings and discussions of this research are concluded in this chapter along with suggestions for the next researcher that will choose the same topic. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here's the last part of this presentation. I am Amartya Suci. Do apologize if there are any mistakes in my presentation. And also, I hope that if you have any questions or suggestions related to my seminar, please feel free to contact me through my email here. That's all from me. Thank you very much for watching and listening my seminar. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.